Hello, my name is Michael Strahan, and I'm going to give you a speech on how to give a good speech. Back when I was in high school, I was on a public speaking and debate team, and our first event, when I was a freshman, was to go out to Boston to this high school and be placed in this public speaking tournament. And when we got there, we found out that we had to choose from a list of topics to give a 2 to 3 minute speech to one person in a single room. But we also discovered that we were massively underprepared for this, because we had no research material ready. And everybody else there had newspapers and laptops and periodicals and magazines. We had nothing. And this was well before the age where everybody had smartphones or iPads. So when we went to go give our speeches, we learned very quickly that we were all really bad, myself included. And we learned very quickly from that day that in order to give a good speech, we had to have some sort of research to back it up. And not only that, but we had to have an organized speech, because if we have a well-researched speech and an organized speech, we can deliver a really good speech. So, in order to research, you need to have a source. So, your source could be yourself if you are an expert or have some sort of experience like I just told you about. But you can also provide your own survey and interpret those survey results to your audience as a source. You can also have things that we didn't have, like the internet and databases and newspapers, all those things that we weren't prepared with. Those can be used as sources if you think they're credible. Now, when you actually go to present it, you should use some sort of either an illustration or a hypothetical illustration to show your audience what it is that you're talking about, to show a cause and effect, to show something and help them explain what you mean. Then you can also use an expert testimony or statistics to really back that up. And then when you go to organize your speech, you can organize it in 4 different ways. You can do it chronologically, so step by step. You can do it in a spatial way. You can do it as a cause and effect relationship, or you can do it as a problem and a solution. And so when you give these issues and you give evidence, you want to start with what's called soft evidence. So your analogies, your personal experiences, these things that are easier for the audience to understand. Then you want to go to your harder evidence, which is your statistics. And the statistics will help back it up after they've been eased into it. So then you want to have some sort of preview at both the beginning, which is the initial preview, which is when I told you that I was going to talk about things like organization of speech, research, and delivery. But then you can also have an internal speech, which is what I'm going to give you now, because I'm going to tell you that I'm going to be talking about how to transition your speech. So when you go to transition, you can have a verbal transition, which is you telling the audience first, second, third, or because of this, in addition to, therefore. But you can also have nonverbal, which would be if I were to change my tone and voice suddenly, if I were to talk really fast and talk really slow, that might mean an indication that I'm going to talk about something serious next. You can also have, for nonverbal, you can also have your body movements, your gestures can change, indicating you're going to talk about something new. So when you actually go to deliver the speech, you want to have some sort of introduction, which is like what I gave you about my personal experience. So giving an anecdote engages the audience and helps them to understand on a more personal level. Then you want to state your central ideas. You want to preview your main ideas, and then you want to conclude. And the conclusion is what I'm going to do right now. And so, when you give a speech, it's really important to not make the same mistakes that I and my team did, because you want to have, if you have research and you have organization, actually delivering a good speech is going to be really easy and going to be very comfortable with it. Thank you.